morning. Good morning. It's Erica here from Me Too Paper Crafts. Welcome to Fun Fold Friday. I have a really simple fun fold today. And what I love about it is that it helps to use up those beautiful designer series papers that we have. So you're going to use you're going to use a 12-inch length piece, and then we're going to do a couple of scores. And we're going to do a couple of folds, and then the card is ready to put together. So let me turn my camera down and I will show you my desktop and see what I'm up to. So let me just adjust my camera a little bit here and get some lights going. Okay, so welcome. I hope everybody is looking forward to the long weekend. Is anybody going away? Are you just going to stay home and enjoy your own backyard? And because it's a busy weekend. It's a crazy travel time. And I don't know, as I get older, I just kind of appreciate staying at home and enjoying my own fruits of my labor, my own backyard and my own house. So I'm not sure if that's what you're going to do, but it's our BC Day long weekend, the first weekend in August. We have a long weekend. Welcome, Sharon. How are you doing? Okay, so I'm going to show you a card. I made this card. I found this by a lady online. Her name is Christina Reese. She's, I think she's in Texas. And I just happened to catch her live one day, and she was making this collar fun fold, or it might have been one of her YouTube videos. But I've made this card. This is an old fold. I've used it way back in the day, so it's not a new one to me. But it's always nice to see it refreshed in newer papers. This is retired paper. Every now and then we get these amazing huge packs, like 48 sheets of paper in a pack. Very often it's a celebration item. So you can get it for free with, and I think if I remember correctly, it was $120 spend. And then you got this 48 sheet pack of paper. So we've had several of these packs of paper and I can never get through them all. So often when I'm testing out cards or putting up a new, trying out a new template, I drag those papers out and I use them. And they're just, a lot of them were so pretty. Simple patterns for fun folds for sure. Okay. And often those papers didn't really coordinate with a stamp set, so you can pretty well use them with anything. So this is what I made. It's called a double-breasted fun fold. So there's no card base. It's all DSP. And then you just put a piece of paper, a piece of cardstock in the middle, your basic white. And then you can put another greeting in here. Now, this piece I took, you'll see, we're going to cut off the corners. And so I took this piece and put it on the inside. And you could save the corners and then you could create two other cards from it. So it's kind of a fun use of it. So let's get started. So I've decided to pull out this stamp set called, or stamp suite of products. It's an online exclusive. It's called Lovely Garden. It's a Lovely Garden Suite Collection. I just checked online. It is still available as a suite of products. So you get a stamp set, you get some dies, you get some gems, you get some ribbon. This is velvet ribbon. And then you get this beautiful paper. And these are some of the sample cards that are online that you can go ahead and case. So I don't think I've cased any of these yet, although this one looks familiar. I'm not sure if I cased them or not, but aren't those pretty? They really show off the blooms. So we're only going to use a greeting from the stamp set. We're going to use With Love, and I think I'm going to decorate it with this little leaf. Yes, now that I've seen this set, I have made some cards with this. For sure I have, especially with that beautiful hydrangea. I have 4 beautiful hydrangeas in my garden. Look at this is velvet ribbon. We've had velvet ribbon in the past, but this is a more narrow ribbon. This is 1/8 of an inch wide. So you get ribbon in the suite, and then you get some of these. Yes, of course, I have definitely done a video on this because I showed you how to use these layering decorative masks to build up the flower, this flower here. And that was a lot of fun to do. And then you get a beautiful set of dies, and we're not going to be using any of these dies, or we might cut out that leaf. I haven't decided yet. And then you get these beautiful gems. Look at these. These are gorgeous. You get these gems. We'll use some of those on our card today. And then, of course, there's the gorgeous paper. Now, I've used the stamp set, but I don't think I've used the paper yet. So I'm just going to show you the paper. It's just beautiful. So you get 2 sheets of each. So you get, I think I've separated them all, have I? Yeah, I have. Okay, so you get 2 sheets of each. So this is one of the patterns. Now this is, again, one direction. So watch how you cut it. And on the back, they've paired it with black. So here's another sheet that is, yes, this is directional because all of these stems are going up. Okay, so be careful with how you cut again. And you've got some black cross hatching there. Then you've got this beautiful one. I think I'm going to make my card out of this one. It's got black. Let's see, black on the inside. You want to think about the paper you use for this because you're showing the inside of the designer series paper when you do it. I'm just throwing the card aside already. You see, so you've got the front of the paper and then you've got the inside of the paper. So you want to have it more or less coordinate, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this black is going to work out. We'll see if there's another sheet. But that's really, really pretty. And this green color is garden green. So then you have this sheet here, beautiful garden green. And again, it's directional, so be careful. And you've got, I think this looks like fresh freesia on the back. So we could do green and fresh freesia maybe. And then this is, I think I showed you this sheet already, did I? Yes, with the black. And then you've got, this is a really pretty sheet with little yellow flowers. Again, it's directional. This whole pack is probably directional. Then you've got the leaves on the back. And then, excuse me, then you've got this sheet. And this is not, not so directional. I think you can turn that around. And then you've got the green on the back. And for this type of card too, I think you want a tiny print on the front. I don't know how it will work with a larger print. And you've got this beautiful green on the back. And then I think my papers are repeating here. All right, so we have to decide. I think I'm going to go with this green sheet. I want a small print on the front. And the black in the middle will be interesting because I'll do the greeting in black. So I'll coordinate it that way. Okay, let's do this sheet. So let's just set all of these aside. Okay, and I'm going to take out my greeting with love, and I want to use this little leaf on the love. I really like this collar fold card. I really like the circle on it, so I might repeat the circle. And I embossed, I did the larger circle. So these are the Stylish Shapes dies. I hope they never, ever retire. I just love them. But you could use another kind of a die cut perhaps on the front, or not at all and put something down at the bottom. Maybe we'll do something a bit different. All right, so let's just take out with love. So I'm going to put this on a block with love. And then I thought I would just do a bit of stamping with this, maybe this little leaf. And then I'm also going to use this leaf here. Hi, Christine. Good morning. I have to apologize. I didn't do Case the Caddy last night. I'm just going to admit I was kind of tired. I was just a little on the tired side. So I apologize for that. All right, let's cut our paper. Okay, so as I said, you need a piece of paper. I wrote down some notes here just so I wouldn't forget. Oh, look, my camera's gone out again. Oh. Just bear with me, you guys. Bear with me. I just have to bring it up again. Stop extra camera. Okay, now bring up extra camera. Extra camera. Sometimes when this happens, it won't find it. Oh, luckily it found it. Okay, so I'm going to turn it. And I'm going to, I don't know why, it loses its connection. I have really good internet, you know. It really bugs me when things don't work when I'm paying premium dollar for good internet. Okay, share, and I should be back. Add to stage, solo layout. Okay, I am back. Okay, good job. I caught that pretty quick. Thanks, Christine, for keeping an eye out for me. Let me just adjust my camera so it's okay. We're back. Yeah, it is Rogers. It's, well, we lost Shaw Cable, didn't we? So, all right. Let's cut this paper down. Now, this is not directional. Doesn't look direct. Oh, maybe it is directional. There's some with stems and some without stems. I'm not going to worry about it. It's kind of minute on this one. But how do I want my stripes? I want my stripes up and down. That's what I'm going to cut. So I want my stripes up and down. So I need to cut this to 5.5 because you're making a full-sized card. So you want this to go 5.5 by 12. So I want my stripes to go up and down. So 5.5. I'm going to cut it this way. 5.5 by 12. There we go. 5.5 by 12. Okay. 5.5 by 12. Okay. Now, all you're going to do, really simple, is you're going to score at 4 inches from each side. Now, you could score at 4 1/8, but I have found, even when I make gatefold cards, when I score straight across, sometimes the folds don't work out. Just like minutely, they don't. They overlap a little bit, or I don't know. They just don't work out. So when I do a gatefold card, I score at 2 1/8 from each side. So I'm going to do 4 inches from each side of this paper. So I'm scoring, not cutting. So 4 inches from this side, and I'm going to just turn it around and do 4 inches from this side. Now, we still might have to trim a little bit. I'll show you where the problem could occur. Okay, so I'm going to fold this now. Those are my score lines there, okay? So you want to fold them. So this is where the problem could occur. Is right here. See that? See how it won't fold over? So what I do is I'm just going to trim a tiny bit. Not all cuts are created equal. So you see on my trimmer where you've got this track in the middle and you've got these black, it's the track, it's the gray, the dark gray. I'm going to move my paper to the outside of this gray line here. That's all, it's just a little shim. And I'm going to just shim that off. Okay, look how tiny that is. It's really, really tiny. It's the same sort of tiny piece you cut off when you're box making. All right, let's test that out. Yeah, see, now it folds. Okay, so that's all you have to do is just shim it a little bit. Yeah, you can decide how you want to fold it. Are you right? Now, see, when you fold it the other way, it's also a problem. But before you shim it, you need to decide, are you going to open it from the left to from the right to the left or left to the right, and then shim it. Okay, because otherwise now this piece is a little bit too short. See that? It's just a little bit too short. So decide how you're going to open it first and then shim it. Okay. Now for the inside, you need a piece to, of course, write your message on there. So you need a piece of white, basic white cardstock. I brought it out somewhere. What did I do with it? I just had it here. I should always throw it on. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here. Okay. Here it is. Okay. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, and it doesn't fit. Okay. So you want to trim this down. And I have a measurement here. You want to trim this down to 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. The length is already 5 1/4. I want to just trim this because this is a 4 by 5 1/4. I just want to trim it to 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Okay, so 3 3/4 by 5 1/4 is what you need for the inside of your card. Okay. All right, now we have to do a little bit of cutting. Okay. So what you want to do, you're going to create, we're not cutting. I made that mistake. The first time I made this card, I actually cut off the lapels. So I'm not doing that today. So I need a ruler. Where's my ruler? There it is. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a tick mark at 2.5 inches from the top corner. So you're going to go 2.5 inches on here. So I can actually use my little grid sheet here. So from the top left and right corner, I'm going to go 2.5 inches. I'm going to make a little tick mark there. And then, and then I'm going to do 2.5 from this side. So 2.5 from this side. So I'll go down to the bottom. 2.5, 1, 2.5, little tick mark. Okay. Now make sure you do this. If your paper's got an orientation to it, make sure that you put those tick marks in the right spot. So here's my tick mark. So what you're going to do, what we're going to do is I'm going to score from the top left corner down to this tick mark. And then I'm going to score from the top right corner down to the tick mark. Okay. Now you could just, here's a little cheat. Instead of using your trimmer, you could just put your ruler. I hope I can see this. There it is. I'm going to use my grid sheet just to line up that score line so I can see it. Okay. So there's my corner and here's my tick mark. There's my corner. There's my tick mark. If you want to do it on your trimmer, you can, but you can just use a ruler and line up, and then you could just fold up your paper. You could even use your bone folder. Fold up your paper. Okay, and I'm just kind of creasing it. And I should be able to just fold it over. Okay. Now, if you want to use your trimmer, I'll just do it on my trimmer just so you can see. Make sure you kick that cutting blade out of the way. So I am going from this corner here. So where my score mark is, make sure you've got good lighting. So there's my score mark, and then I'm rotating it to my tick mark. So here's my tick mark. I'm hoping you can see me in the camera here. Okay, so I'm lining up the score mark. I'll go up higher. There's my score mark there. And then I'm going to hold that and then pivot to the tick mark that I made here. Okay, and then I'm going to score. So if you want to use your trimmer, you can. Otherwise, you could just do the little ruler trick. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to fold this down now. Okay, and there is your fold. And that's it. That's your card. So not sure I like the black with the green. What do you guys think? Kind of reminds me of the 80s. I had a beautiful, beautiful suit, a striped suit, black pants and a jacket, black and white striped. It was very chic. So that's what I mean about picking a designer series paper that kind of coordinates. Okay. So I think I might still use these Stylish Shapes dies. I don't know. I just love them. And I mean, you could do squares. You could do any kind of a layering. You know what? I recently, I forget when it was, I did a card using these framed scenes card. Framed scenes. I only bought the dies. I did not buy the stamp set. And it's got these ovals in here. We could do ovals instead. And put them on there kind of wonky. Kind of cool. Not sure what I want to do. Let's try the ovals. Let's be bold. So there's two ovals in this. And then there's this really, really cool frame with wood grain on it. Okay. Now, what I didn't bring here was some green paper. I need green paper. Okay, let me grab some scrap basic white. And I am going to put my greeting on here. I'm going to use black. We might have to do this horizontal. So let's see. With love, I did that a bit crooked. That's okay. Then I thought I would take this tiny little leaf, and I have some garden green. So I thought I would just put, I like stamping on my greetings. Kind of adds a little something extra. Okay. And I'm going to go and cut that out. And then I'm going to grab some green cardstock so I can cut out my other oval. So let's cut this. Boy, was it a hot day yesterday. Whew. I haven't gone out to water my plants yet. I need to do that as soon as I'm done here. Okay, look how sweet that is. Let me just grab some green cardstock. We could even bring in the yellow. Now, the colors in this suite are, yeah, there's a crushed curry. Maybe we should do some crushed curry on there. Yeah, let's do crushed curry just to give it a pop of color. Crushed curry is I love crushed curry in the fall for fall cards. Okay, so I'm going to do the larger oval and just cut a frame. Whew. I am warm now. Luckily, I have brought a fan. We have a couple of fans in the house. I brought a fan down from upstairs, and I'm going to put it on later. Now, this is really cool. The frame does add a little bit of an embossed edge to it. So we're going to do that. Okay, now what else I thought I would do is this has a die. This little leaf has a coordinating die. So let me just grab that out of here. It's got another couple of really cool dies. I love these embossed dies. They don't cut out an image. They just create, sorry, I should restate that. They don't cut out a stamped image. They just cut out the leaves, and you've got some embossing on there. Those are so cool. This is a beautiful set, but this is and we've got two of these. That's cool. So we've got one of these to cut out this leaf. And I might do some coloring on here. So let's get the green. Just this morning, I put away my watercolor pencils. I should have kept them out. Let's do a couple of these on here. You know what? I'm going to use my Wink of Stella. Hopefully it'll pull out the color. Where's my Wink of Stella pen gone? Okay. I don't have oh, there it is. Let's just see if it'll pull out the green. It's not pulling out the green. That's okay. Often with dark colors, the color will bleed with the Wink of Stella. But it's not doing it this time. Oh, it's doing it right there on that one. You need to stamp and then use your Wink of Stella right away. So we're getting a little bit of bleed there. Oh, it's bleeding a little bit here too. Now I could open up my ink pad. Let's see if I have any ink on the lid. No. These new pads don't lend themselves very well to, oh, this won't squeeze at all. I like the old pads better where you could squeeze the lid. Okay, so I'm going to let those dry for a little bit. And let's start working on a card. So I don't know that I want to put a greeting on the inside. What other greetings are on here? With love, thankful for you, friend. Oh, I kind of like that. Thankful for you, friend. It's a big one. Maybe we'll put this on the inside. So yeah, this is how I craft. I do something. Oh, there it is. I set it aside and I can't find it again. Okay. All right. So let's line this up again. We'll do this in black. Now, you have to be careful of the collar here. You don't want to stamp too high in here because you don't want the greeting to partially show through, I wouldn't think. So I'm just going to come down here and do it. There we go. Thankful for you, friend. Okay. And let's stamp a couple more of these little leaves around the inside greeting. Just to make it a little bit more interesting. Okay, so we can glue this to the inside of our card. See, that's perfect. It's kind of hard to see your There we go. Okay, so the inside of the card is done. Now let's decorate the front. Now, if you want, you can glue these down. I think we'll have to just glue them down. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue like that. And I'll just put a tiny bit of glue right there. Whoops. Like that. There we go. We'll just stick those down a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to deal with this. So I think I might put this on dimensionals just to lift it up a little bit, give it some height. Okay, and now I'm going to cut out these other little leaves here. Actually, there are two of those dies, but I stamped them too close together. I could have cut them out at once, both at once. Okay, so here's one. And let's do the other one. Okay, let's see what we're going to do with these now. Those are sweet. Now, when you're gluing this down, you need to make sure you don't glue it to the other flap in there. So I think I want it up quite high. So I'm going to only put a little bit. I'm going to use some liquid glue here. Let's decide what we're going to do with these leaves first. I thought maybe I'd tuck them in like that. Yeah, so let's glue those in there first. So I'm just going to grab my tweezers. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back. I'm going to tuck that in here like that. And let's put a little bit of glue on here. And let's rotate this, and then let's stick this under here. So if you like this fun fold, share it with your friends. Make sure you let them know about my YouTube channel too, because everything's up there as well as on my Facebook page. All right, so look at that. It's coming together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just like right here. Yeah, just like right here. Okay, now be careful. I did get a bit of glue here, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I can use my glue eraser to take it off. Yeah, you really have to watch where you put your glue. But there you go. There's your card. And maybe this could have been a little bit higher. I think it's cute. Now, let me see. Will these gemstones work on here? No, I don't think we need them. Is that crushed curry? Doesn't say. I bet it is crushed curry. No, I'm not going to add a gemstone. I like it just the way it is. So there's your fun fold. Isn't that fun? Fun fold. Okay, let me pull my face forward, and then I can say thank you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching. And have fun recreating it. Remember, I'll put the measurements in my, I'll update the description, and you'll have the measurements for that. So thanks again, everyone. And I will not be back for Mojo Monday because I'm taking the day. We're going to be with family doing stuff, but I will probably be back on next Thursday night, as long as I'm not too tired, but I'll try not to be. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.